Welcome back to another behind the scenes photo shoot video. Today we are in some beautiful English countryside and I have my lovely model Brooke here with us today, and we're going to be getting some really cool portraits. And let's just jump into it.
Let's do it.
I've recently been more intentional about creating mood boards for my shoots, and I'm calling this one Cool Girl in the English Countryside. We are going for a slightly editorial, pastoral type of look that focuses on greens and warm tones. I've already shared this mood board with my model during all of our planning, but I've brought it up again on the shoot so that we can both have it fresh in our minds as we work.
Yeah, you gotta warm up. You gotta warm up in these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come a little to the side. Yeah. And if you could push the coat back on this side. Love that.
I've gone for a slightly film-inspired look with my editing on this shoot, with added warmth and grain and a slight curve to add to the vintage feel. I really love this type of editing, but don't typically do it myself. But I've decided to start experimenting a bit more on my creative shoots, so let me know what you think.
And then you can also kind of like do this.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good if you do like a one finger type thing.
Okay.
And yeah. And you can hold on to the book with one hand. Almost, you can even hold it out here, cross, do all of this. You look very unnatural at.
Like I'm gonna take a shit.
Get what in a position that feels natural to you. Yes, that looks really good.
I used to steer away from sitting portraits because I thought they were often unflattering, but I found that integrating them into my posing workflow has added a lot of variety and unlocked some of my favorite portraits.
I'm loving these. Oh, these are dreamy. So could you switch hands? And then the hand closest to me, I like it almost in your, yes.
I find it really beneficial to periodically show models the back of my camera. This is so they can get an idea of how they look and can adjust accordingly. So here I'm attempting to make something called a cinematograph. It's a relatively new concept to me, and so it's definitely not perfect. If you don't know what a cinematograph is, it's basically when you have only one isolated element in a photograph that moves. This is my second attempt ever, and I realize now that having a tripod probably would have helped, but hey ho, still pretty good for an early attempt.
In the pocket.
When picking locations, I try to pick spots where I can get a variety of looks. So we started off in the trees, and now we're moving towards an area where there's some taller grass. This part of the shoot ended up feeling pretty different from the first half. The tones of the grass were a lot warmer, and I struggled a little bit with the editing at first. When I made the decision to take it in a more film-inspired look, these ended up being some of my favorites. And it's just proof that sometimes it's okay to be a little bit flexible and open with editing styles if it means leaning into a photo's look rather than trying to fight it. If you've watched my channel before, then you've probably seen me do this little trick. Sticking something in front of my lens is one of my favorite effects to add in, and here it's just some grass to match the color scheme, and I think it adds more depth and leans further into the editorial film look that I took in editing.
think we're done. I think that's a wrap.
We did it.
We did it.